Here's your news for March 14th, 2020. We're starting off today with news from Smackdown, and as promised, this week's show took place at the Performance Center with commentary provided by Michael Cole and Triple H. In the opening match, Sasha Banks and Bayley took on Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss with a surprise appearance by Raw superstar and Women's Tag Team Champion Asuka. After this, Cole conducted an in-ring interview with Roman Reigns, and there were also some backstage segments, including an interview with Jeff Hardy. In order to fill the 2 hours, the company showed the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match from last Sunday, and the game even referenced his recent demotion backstage. If you weren't aware, the 14-time World Champion's role backstage was changed, as he is now the Executive Vice President of Global Talent Strategy and Development, instead of his previous role as Executive Vice President of Talent, Live Events, and Creative. At the commentary desk, the game joked about the change, saying he's the only man who could be demoted and get busier, and the pairing of Triple H and Cole worked well together despite the lack of an audience. Needless to say, this week's SmackDown was much different to anything that we've seen before, and that also includes how the superstars acted in the ring. While wrestlers will continue competing during the break during a regular show when there's a live crowd to see them, that wasn't the case this time, as the superstars stopped wrestling as soon as they went to break. Unfortunately for WWE, an international feed of SmackDown caught what was happening during the commercial break, as fans overseas could see Bayley, Sasha Banks, Nikki Cross, and Alexa Bliss just waiting around for the show to come back from the ads. While it makes sense that superstars don't want to risk taking bumps when there's nobody around to see it, this was still a pretty embarrassing moment for the company, and one that they'll hopefully be able to avoid in the future. Speaking of talented women, one person who knows all about the ups and downs of WWE is Paige, who had to retire in 2018 due to injuries. Since then, though, the former Divas champion has made it clear that she hopes to wrestle again, with the return of Daniel Bryan giving her hope that she'll one day compete in the squared circle. Recently, Inside the Ropes spoke to the inaugural NXT Women's Champion, and Paige didn't rule out an in-ring return, saying, "I think it's always a possibility one day. You can never say never. It's not going to be anytime soon. That's mostly all I can say about it. It's really hard because I just had a neck surgery in August. My neck is just getting healthier quicker the second time around, which is crazy. I feel absolutely fantastic, so we'll see where it goes." Though Paige says her neck is feeling great, it's ultimately WWE's decision whether they want her to compete again. Though with the return of Daniel Bryan and other stars who have come back from career-ending injuries, things certainly look promising for the original anti-diva. More Paige news now, as the former Divas champion was supposed to appear on this week's SmackDown, but that didn't occur. On Twitter, Paige said that she wasn't able to make it to the Performance Center because of travel, and said that getting around is very hard with the global medical concern that is going on. In that same tweet, Paige also commented that, "At least Bayley is keeping you entertained," and added on Instagram that maybe we can try again next week. It's certainly interesting that Paige continues to call out the reigning SmackDown Women's Champion, and this has led many to speculate that it'll be Paige herself who challenges for the title at WrestleMania 36 if the show goes ahead. While Paige is hoping to finally confront Bayley on next week's SmackDown, her return isn't the only big thing announced for the show. On next week's show, the WWE Universal Champion Goldberg will be returning to the Blue brand, as he will have a contract signing to make his WrestleMania match official against Roman Reigns. It'll certainly be interesting to see what Goldberg has to say, and next week's show will feature another huge appearance in addition to Paige and the Universal Champion. As confirmed by WWE, Rob Gronkowski will appear on the Blue brand next week, and this was revealed on SmackDown by Gronk's real-life good friend Mojo Rawley. As a two-time Super Bowl champion, the New England Patriots star had plenty of success on the field before retiring, and is now looking to bring his skills to the ring. It'll be interesting to see what Gronk, Paige, and Goldberg have to say next week, especially if the show has no live audience again, as this year's road to WrestleMania has been bumpy, to say the least. Speaking of Gronk, fans may remember him appearing at the WrestleMania 33 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and the former NFL star will also have an appearance this year. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the plan for Gronkowski won't see him competing in a match, as they said, "At press time, we were told that he is not at this point in a match at WrestleMania, but whether he is on the show and in what form is still being decided. It was previously reported that WWE wanted the former NFL star's debut to be a surprise, but given his star power, using Gronk's name to hype up the show certainly makes a lot of sense. Time will tell just when exactly Gronkowski will have his first official match, but one thing we're confident on is that it won't be happening at WrestleMania 36. We are looking ahead to next week's edition of Monday Night Raw, as for the first time ever, the show will have no live audience. Instead, next week's episode will emanate from the WWE Performance Center, much like this week's SmackDown Live, and the only people in the arena will be essential personnel. This news was confirmed by a tweet from WWE, who mentioned that the show was originally scheduled to take place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it'll be interesting to see just how the 316 edition of Raw goes, complete with an appearance by Steve Austin without a crowd for the Rattlesnake to feed off. We've got even more changes to WWE's programming now, as 205 Live will no longer be live, according to the Wrestling Observer. In their report, it was revealed that the Purple brand will be filmed before Friday Night SmackDown, as they said, WWE is now taping 205 Live first before SmackDown and starting its East Coast shows at 7:15 p.m. They are usually taping 2 matches, cutting the time back on 205 Live, and then taping SmackDown and doing one dark match main event after the show. The dark match following SmackDown is not a 205 Live match, and it appears WWE has figured out how to make fans stick around for the Purple brand, as they're filming it when fans are arriving, not when they want to leave. We are once again looking at the global medical concern that is affecting people, as even the WWE Hall of Famers aren't risking getting sick. This week it was revealed that Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, who were supposed to be attending Toy-Con in Las Vegas, won't be appearing now, as more and more wide public gatherings are cancelled or having major changes. On Twitter, Nash mentioned the NBA's recent actions to reduce the rate of infection and said that in the interest of the fans' health, this choice was a no-brainer. Both Nash and Hall are set to receive their second inductions into the WWE Hall of Fame as part of the New World Order, but time will tell whether the WWE goes ahead with the ceremony and WrestleMania, which is currently scheduled to take place in early April. Speaking of the global medical concern, next week's episode of WWE Backstage was supposed to feature both the return of CM Punk and an appearance by NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley, but that won't be happening now. The WWE on Fox account has revealed that the production of the show has been suspended due to the ongoing medical crisis, and that the show will be suspending production until at least March 20th. On Twitter, WWE Backstage presenter Renee Young said she was disappointed in not being able to make the show, but understood that health and safety were the #1 concern. Though the show has struggled with the ratings pretty much since it launched, WWE Backstage still provides an entertaining hour of WWE programming, so hopefully the FS1 show won't be gone for very long. We mentioned that the NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley was supposed to be appearing on WWE Backstage this week, but with the show being temporarily suspended, the Aussie superstar will have plenty of time to heal up. On this week's edition of NXT, Ripley took a beating from 2020 Women's Royal Rumble winner Charlotte Flair, who locked the champion in a figure 4 around the ring post. Continuing her attack, the Queen stomped on Riley's throat with her high heel, and the NXT Women's Champion took to Instagram to share a picture of the damage. In a caption, Ripley joked that the mark looks like a surgical scar, saying that she didn't undergo neck surgery, but instead got a high-heeled boot to the throat. It's clear from the image that Flair's boot left quite the mark on Ripley's neck, but we doubt that this will keep the NXT Women's Champion down for long as she prepares for the biggest match of her career at WrestleMania 36. Speaking of WrestleMania, one man who knows all about big matches and NXT is Triple H, and while the game isn't scheduled to compete this year, that isn't the only big change for him. We previously mentioned that Triple H's official corporate title has changed, and according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, this change is being seen as a quiet demotion for the King of Kings. They said, "He's moved away from being in charge of talent, and his main duties now are NXT, selling NXT TV rights overseas, and expanding NXT globally. It's a change. There are those internally and externally who have called it a quiet demotion." To be fair to the game, ever since he took over NXT, the Gold brand has become arguably the best part of WWE programming, so it makes sense that the company wants Triple H as the head of trying to get TV deals for the third brand overseas. It's also been reported that Brad Bloom, Vince McMahon's chief of staff, is the man who has replaced the game as the executive vice president of operations, and it'll be interesting to see just how the WWE reacts to these huge changes. Now, earlier in the year, Vince McMahon made headlines when he revealed that the WWE was talking to some major players about buying the rights to pay-per-views. Since then, the WWE has been pretty hushed about the details of what this means exactly, and the company has been quietly promoting that WrestleMania 36 will take place on the WWE Network. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it was reported that the company is still trying to sell pay-per-view streaming rights and that the deal isn't coming together as quickly as they hoped. They said, WWE is still in talks with people regarding a pay-per-view deal. They've announced WrestleMania as being on the network, which would indicate the belief that they aren't close enough on the deal to not make that announcement. The only thing we've heard is WWE is seeking a very high number for the deal. Though WrestleMania 36 is being promoted for the WWE Network, the show is still up in the air, as time will tell whether the ongoing medical issues will cause the company to postpone their biggest show of the year. At this time, the WWE is still looking to sell their streaming rights, but with everything that's happened, it's likely they won't have any deals in place by April 5th, when WrestleMania is scheduled to happen. And finally, today we're ending with the results of Smackdown, as despite the lack of a live audience, the men and women of the Blue brand still put on an entertaining show. In the opening of the show, Bayley and Sasha Banks picked up the win over Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, while Roman Reigns made it clear that he was coming for Goldberg's Universal title at WrestleMania. In an unsurprisingly incredible encounter, Daniel Bryan picked up the victory over Cesaro, while Jeff Hardy returned to action, complete with a new back tattoo, by defeating King Corbin. And in the main event segment, John Cena spoke in the ring about his upcoming match against Bray Wyatt, but was cut off when he noticed the former Universal Champion had emerged in the front row. After preying on Cena's insecurities, including the WrestleMania encounter in 2014, Wyatt went as far as to blame the 16-time WWE World Champion for the emergence of The Fiend, and beckoned for Cena to let him in as the WrestleMania match approaches. Like we've said, this week's SmackDown was unique to say the least, given the lack of a crowd, and it'll be interesting to see how Raw's 3-hour show will do next week, and whether we will have many more episodes from the Performance Center as the global medical concern carries on.